Most business owners and digital agencies struggle with the same thing, which is they just want to be able to run and manage their business from one single place instead of constantly switching between different tools like Trello, Asana, Pipedrive, Airtable, or even multiple spreadsheets. And if you've already recognized this setup, then you already know that Notion is a great solution to fix it. But the thing with Notion is the first time you start using it, everything you see is a blank page, and then you feel super confused asking, where do I even start? Like, how am I supposed to build a whole system just starting from a blank page? And if you've been using it for a while, then maybe you have tried different multiple templates and followed 1,000 tutorials and video tutorials online, but it's still very hard to build something that works for your specific needs. Because the thing about Notion is that it works as if you have different blocks from Lego pieces and you are the one building your specific castle depending on what do you need. And getting to that specific point gets a ton of energy, time, and knowledge on how to use it. But don't worry, if you are new here, hi, my name is Anna Cushart. I'm a Notion consultant for digital agencies and business owners. I've been doing consulting for more than 5 years. And in today's masterclass, I just want to show you the system that I have implemented for more than 70 different teams in order to run and manage their whole business in peace. So you have one dashboard and you can track your tasks, projects, clients, content, CRM, and much more. And by the end of this video, I'm also going to show you how you can get this system automatically. So you just download it, start watching all of the tutorials included, and then you can start organizing your business today. So let's get into it. Now, the key to run your business in peace is to have a system that's intuitive and simple, but also that's sustainable on the long term. So as soon as you start growing your team and hiring some people, you can still stick to it by just fine-tuning a few things. So in order to build this system, you just need 3 key ingredients. The first of all is to have all of the information stored in one single place. So in here, we're going to think about what elements do we need to track for our business operations on a day-to-day basis. For example, we're going to track our tasks, our projects, our clients, meeting notes, our content, or even CRM, sales, etc., etc. So we need to create individual databases to store that information and to also add different properties so we have the full context for all of them. But we also need to relate these different databases. So for example, for every task, besides knowing the status, the owner, the due date, etc., we also want to know to which project does it belong. So all the information is organized in one single place. But then on the other hand, we also need to have quick and easy access to that information. So instead of just gathering individual databases and going in and out in order to find the details, we also need to have a main dashboard to see the things that we want to see on a daily basis. So for example, we want to see what are all of the current projects that we have or the open clients that we're working with, but then we also want to see what are the specific tasks that needs to be done today. And as I was saying that all of the information is connected on the backend, this is going to allow us that not only be able to see the tasks from the outside, as in what needs to be done today, but also from the inside of every project, for example, we can gather all of the details that are related to them. We can create an internal template that already gathers everything that's connected. So for example, for this project, we can see all of the context as in the status, the client, who's the project manager, the dates, tasks, and even the progress or the budget, or also link it to Google Drive so we can store all of the documents in there. But on the inside, we automatically have this template to show, okay, what's a short description of this project? What are all of the meeting notes related to this project? And then just to have a clear timeline of what needs to be done for this project, so you can assign the different due dates. Or if you prefer to work on a Kanban board because you're coming from Trello and your team works best this way, we can also have it just to see what are the specific tasks that are related to this project, so we know that all information is organized in here. And this is just an example about projects and tasks, but this works for everything else in the system as well. So for example, besides these elements, we can also have a calendar in order to manage and organize and brainstorm all of our content calendar. So we can begin to gather all of our ideas and then try to categorize them by, okay, what kind of content is it? For example, to which platform does it go? Or what content pillar does it belong to? Or is it tofu, mofu, or bofu? So just with a glance and a quick view inside a calendar, you can make sure that you're creating different kinds of content, that they're going to the specific platforms, and then you can see the status of every piece of content. So everyone has access to the same information, and all of the team works more aligned. And besides tracking these operations for your business, you can also track everything that's related to like goals or planning or brainstorming. So for example, we can have different dashboards in order to plan, all right, these are like, we're entering Q4 or we're entering 2026. What are the main 3 goals that I want to achieve for my business? What's the specific 80 tasks that are important for me in order to move the needle forward, like what needs to be done. And also you can do a ton of analysis as in, okay, here's the database for all of my competition and here's the key points that distinguish me from everyone else. So all of this planning that maybe you are storing as notes in your phone or like on a random Google notes documents, you can also gather them in there. So it's this combination of you have your data as in databases to manage tasks, projects, due dates, etc., and operations, but you can also manage notes and goals and plan for the long term. But then if you're working with a team, for example, and you need to take this a step further, you can transform this single dashboard where you can manage the whole business into a whole workspace that you can share with all of your team and add some privacy levels and have everything more organized. So for example, let's say that you're working with a team and you are 5 people or like 10 or 15 people, then you can have one homepage. You just divide this main dashboard inside different team spaces, and here's where we're going to have access or not and manage the privacy within our team. So for example, we're going to have one homepage where we're going to have everyone inside our team has access to this, and we have the wiki, the team, mission, vision, values, frequently asked questions. We can see everyone's project, and like marketing is working on this, product development is working on that. And we can even have like a calendar to see like what's going across the team. But then for every one of the departments of your business, or every area of your business or team, you can have another specific team space. For example, for marketing team is the only one that has access to the marketing dashboard. And then this allows them to also receive tasks and send projects. So everything is still connected with everyone else for the rest of the company, but they can have a bit of privacy and also manage their internal things. So for example, for the marketing team, they also need to have another dashboard to manage the SEO analysis and all the influencers campaigns and all of the content for that. And maybe they have their specific documentation or the SOPs, so everything can be managed from the marketing team. And this works for marketing, but if you have like a tech team and maybe they are doing like the development or they are tracking all of the books for the new app that you just released, like this works on the same way. It's like this extra level of privacy. And last but not least, especially if you're working with a team, you can also have this area called My Dashboard, where you can just check what's assigned specifically to you. So what are the tasks that I'm the owner of, what are my tasks, and what are my projects? So you always know what you need to be doing today. And then we can bring it up to the CEO level with, for example, the first thing that they always want to see, of course, as a co-founder, is what's going on inside my business. So we can just have this dashboard to show with graphs and like more intuitive data what's going on, like how many projects or clients do we have open, what's the status of them, what's the workload of my team, like how many employees or team members do we have, what's the workload and what specific tasks do they have assigned for the next couple of weeks, and everything else. So you can have this bird overview. But then you can also manage some other details that maybe are more sensitive, and you as the CEO or co-founders, you are the only ones with access to it. So for example, you can have a very simple CRM to like keep track of all of the new leads that you're talking with, for all of the travels that you're doing, the events and the networking. You can still manage. So for example, this is one of the parts that I've seen many teams manage on Pipedrive, and it's not automatized as in maybe like HubSpot or like other CRM tools. Like they're just literally just drag and dropping the information in a card and then just moving the card forward until this turns inside a client, like into a client. You can still manage this inside Notion. And also besides the CRM and this, as I was saying before, we can also have our business plan as founders and be like, all right, this is our plan. This is our brand. This is the problem we're solving. This is our ICP. This is the whole competition. This is what makes us different from the competition. This is our go-to-market planning. So everything about brainstorming and gathering references and like doing analysis, you can still create it in here and even share it with like some external people, still with that level of privacy. So you still have everything under one single business hub. And as an extra that I'm also going to share in some other videos, client portals, we can share this with clients, but this is a whole other story. You can even have, as soon as this is very requested, like as soon as your team begins to grow, you can also have like a recruiting dashboard and be like, all right, this is our job board. This is like all of the open positions that we have that we're currently looking for and looking to hire. So then inside of these job descriptions, they're going to have like the external people, like on LinkedIn or wherever, they're going to see the job description. They're going to click one button. They're going to see a Notion forms. They're just going to input their details. Like this is my email. These are like my skills. This is the thing like the position I'm applying for. This is my portfolio, etc., etc. And then as soon as they submit that, you're going to receive that candidate directly inside your Notion database. And you're going to get notified. So the only thing that you need to do is to go in here, check what are the new applicants that just log in today, and then start calling them, start emailing them, and then you can start with them the whole hiring process. So again, there are many things that can be done as in the operations of your business from one single place, and Notion is a very good tool in order to manage them. But the thing is, it's not always intuitive and super easy to set up. So if you're interested to have a system like this in order to manage your whole business in peace, you have two different options. The first one is to get this business hub that I already showed you. This is the system that I already created. It's plug and play. It's ready to use. So the only thing you need to do is to download it. I have included more than 15 video tutorials showing you how does it work, how can you adapt it to your needs. Like, here's how to create a task, here's how to delete it, here's how to change this and change that. So like, you have all of the information that you need within the system itself. So you download it, watch the videos, and you can start organizing your business today. And then the other option is, if you're already working with a team and you need a very custom solution, as in working one-on-one, I also build custom full Notion workspaces from scratch if you've never used Notion before. And if you're already working with a workspace with your team, but something's not working, you already know it can be optimized, and you have a few ideas, then we can also talk and I can help you be more efficient with your team. So you can either get the Business Hub system that's already ready for you to use, or you can book a discovery call so we can meet and then we can discuss in more details how does Notion fits in order to solve you for your specific needs. And as always, if you have any question, I'm also going to leave all of my links for my socials, so you can go in there, send me a DM, and then we can discuss it from there. Thank you so much for making it this far, and I will see you soon.